Good afternoon. Welcome to another KWAN Business Workshop. Today, we're going to talk about how to improve your marketing message. Improving your marketing performance with a better message can often help us with bottom line results. So to do that today, we are going to go through 6 different exercises in KWAN to help clarify the message. First, we're going to define the brand purpose and values, your brand purpose and values. Second, we're going to develop your brand personality. Then we're going to talk about crafting your brand story, identify your brand attributes, create your brand promise, and then lastly, build out your messaging framework. And at the end of that, you will have a step-by-step methodology on how to clarify your messaging to improve your marketing performance. So let's jump right in. All right, so here's the blueprint again, the branding and marketing section of the blueprint. So we're going to jump right in today and get into brand identity. So as you can see here, we have 4 different activities. The first one, define your brand purpose and values. We're going to start right there. So clarify what your brand stands for and the beliefs that drive it. So this is a company that I've used before for these demos, a fictitious company called Clear Sky Drone Inspections. We have been building out the platform with this company. So KWAN does know a bunch about Clear Sky. So from that perspective, we're just going to create draft and see what it comes up with. All right, so we have a document over here on the right-hand side, which is the normal working methodology for KWAN. So let's see what we have here. Clear Sky Drone Inspections, brand, purpose, and core values. So our deeper brand purpose exists to make critical infrastructure, agricultural operations, and institutional facilities safer, more reliable, and more sustainable through precise aerial intelligence. I like that. That sounds good. I'm not going to read the whole thing. But we look to create a positive change with improved safety, data-driven decision-making, operational efficiency, environmental responsibility, industry modernization, the core values that KWAN has chosen. And again, you don't have to accept these. We will, but you don't have to accept these. You can tweak them, but these are really good. Our core values, number 1, safety without compromise, which is absolutely why you would do aerial inspections versus climbing some of those towers or elevations in a facility. Precision and data integrity. So a visual inspection with precise visual and data integrity is key. We always strive for operational excellence. We have innovation with purpose, integrity and transparency, client-centered partnership, and stewardship of assets and environment. So our 1-line purpose and value statement, Clear Sky Drone Inspections exist to elevate safety, reliability, and performance across Western Canada's critical industries through precision aerial intelligence. We replace risk with insight, uncertainty with data, and reactive maintenance with proactive decision-making. Now that is pretty good. That's pretty well written. It knows exactly why, from some previous work, why we created Clear Sky Drone Inspections and what the goal for the organization is. So great job, KWAN. We are going to accept that document. So if there was anything in particular here that we wanted to change, for instance, if we wanted to get rid of one of these core values, or if we wanted to add a few words or a little bit more, we could always come in here, hit edit, get into the document, edit away, save those changes manually, and then move on. So with KWAN, we've talked about in the past, with every activity you complete, Once you hit complete here, now that this activity is marked completed, it has been updated to the KWAN memory, to your KWAN business brain. So Clear Sky drone inspections is now one activity smarter when using KWAN. All right, so let's move on to the next activity. Develop your brand personality. Identify the human characteristics that describe your brand's tone and behavior. And again, if we have people in our workplace behaving or acting differently or having a slightly different tone or behavior when it comes to our brand, that messaging can get fuzzy and unclear. So by developing a brand personality that we can scale across our organization and train our staff with, we will have a more consistent, and consistency drives clarity. So again, let's create draft and see what KWAN comes up with. You see here, I accidentally pressed the button twice, but no big deal. Let's show the details here again so we know what we're working on. You can see KWAN's working away. All right, our brand personality profile. Again, KWAN continues to build off of what it knows about Clear Sky drone inspections. So, brand overview provides professional drone-based inspection services to industrial, institutional, and agricultural clients across Western Canada. It knows that from the onboarding and the other activities that we've completed. All right, our personality traits. Safety first and responsible, technically precise and detail-oriented, calm and professional under pressure, forward-thinking and innovative, and we would love to be known and are a trusted partner, not just a service providers. So how do we want to make customers feel when we're communicating with them? We want them to feel confident, reassured, informed, supported, and future ready by partnering with a company that leverages advanced technology to improve outcomes. And in this case, the outcomes of inspections. So the tone of our voice should be professional and clear, confident, not boastful, calm and solution oriented, respectful and collaborative. The brand behavior KWAN is suggesting for us is demonstrated through consistent, observable actions and our words, right? So this all ties together. Conducting thorough pre-flight planning, risk assessments. So these are the types of things that we want to be known for. Our emotional connection, which is important because people do deal with people. We build emotional connection through trust and dependability. Clients operate critical infrastructure, facilities, and agricultural assets where downtime, failure, or safety incidents carry significant consequences. So we want them to know when they work with Clear Sky that we have their back. The brand personality summary is a safety-driven, technically precise, and forward-thinking partner that delivers clarity from above. The brand is calm, confident, and dependable, empowering industrial, institutional, and agricultural clients across Western Canada to manage risk, protect assets, and move forward with certainty. That's pretty good. Again, same principle applies here. We're going to save the document as is. KWAN is getting, again, one more activity smarter and deeper in what it knows. As soon as we do this, we've marked that activity completed. We've now transitioned this document into memory. KWAN is one step smarter. All right, let's move on to the next activity. We are going to craft our brand story. So the story of why the brand exists. And we've touched on this a little bit throughout some other activities that we've done. The why when we did our onboarding. At the end of the day, we are going to, let's just hide this here. KWAN's telling us that it's here to work with us on the current activity. Again, it's done really well so far, so I'm going to create another draft. The problem that inspired clear sky drone inspections. Now, this is completely speculative at this particular point in time, given that this really should be a personal story that you tell. But what KWAN's done here is it's given you a great example of what you can use as a template, essentially. And you can come in here. What I would do is I would accept this and I would start working within the document using the edit functionality. Let's make sure that we accept that here again. All right. So we could come in here 5 years ago. Well, that was correct. We do have 5 years ago the transformation that we enable, our purpose, which we've talked about before, the brand story, so the marketing and sales version of this brand story. Clear Sky Drone Inspections was founded in Edmonton with a bold idea. Inspections should be safer, smarter, and driven by real data. Today, we serve industrial, institutional, and agricultural clients across Western Canada with advanced drone technology, high-resolution sensors, and AI-powered analytics. So, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but as you can see here, it is very consistent in pulling forward what it knows about clear sky drone inspections, it being KWAN pulling forward what it knows. So we are going to commit this brand story to KWAN's memory. And you'll have your own. When you're doing this activity, I would suggest down here in the chat box, you can put in your own brand story. If you see here the details, it says tell the story of why your brand exists. I created a draft to see what KWAN would do. In your case, with your business, you would come in here and you would enter in the reason behind your brand, how you came up with it, what was your motivation, essentially answering these requirements in the chat window, and then hitting go with the activity with your specific background. Then it's going to complete a brand story of your details for your organization. So, again, so we've now completed the third step here. Now we're going to talk about some brand attributes. So the qualities and associations you want your customers to link with your brand. And again, what we're doing here throughout this whole first four-step process is setting the foundation for our memory. For our messaging. The memory is the foundation within KWAN. So again, a lot of the same type of attributes coming forward, really just hardening the position for the organization and for the employees of the organization of really how our messaging should evolve and develop as we move forward. So very consistent values-based brand traits that it's pulled forward consistently. We have some key differentiators. We've got a perfect safety record, integrated AI analytics platform, advanced multi-sensor capability, Western Canada regional expertise. We're scalable, and we have often reduced operational disruption here. So the desired customer perceptions, and these are the things that we want to bake into our messaging on a go-forward basis. We're the safe choice. We deliver insight, not just images. They are technically superior, they being Clear Sky. They understand industrial environments. They are reliable long-term partners, and they make complex inspections simple. Going back to the personality that we had talked about before, confident, precise, dependable, forward-thinking, and professional. We are going to accept that as well. So we've now put a solid foundation for our messaging in place. We're going to mark this as complete. That focus area is complete, which is fantastic. Visual and verbal identity. Clear rules for how your brand communicates through language. So there's some other stuff that we can go through here, but I wanted to jump ahead here to our market positioning and focus a little more on messaging here today. So previously, in a previous webinar, we have talked about define your market position. Here now we're going to talk about creating the brand promise. Again, describe the consistent benefit. So we will get KWAN to create a draft again for us. Again, building upon all the work that we've previously done and what KWAN already knows about clear sky drone inspections. Practical benefits, emotional benefits, proof points, brand promise statements. So let's get down here to the bottom. Clear Sky Drone Inspections delivers safer, smarter, more precise asset inspections, combining advanced drone technology and AI-driven analysis to provide clear insights, reduce risk, and protect what matters most. We promise every client accurate data, actionable clarity, and a safer path to maintaining the integrity and performance of their critical assets. That is our brand promise. One more foundational element of our messaging strategy. So we're going to complete this activity. Again, when we do complete an activity, it then gets published to the KWAN brain, to your business brain. Now, we're going to move on to building out the messaging framework. So let's see some of the details here. Organize the key messages that communicate your brand's value. So this is where ultimately we're going to bring all of this together, where the output should include a messaging framework, organizing our brand and product messages by audience. So, excuse me, we are going to, through this process, end up knowing how to communicate consistently with different types of audiences. Let's see what KWAN builds for us. And when we're done, we're going to have all of these documents available for us to use in training our staff, having sales folks read through them, remind themselves prior to meetings. Ultimately, the key here is driving consistency. So we've built a great baseline. Now we're ultimately building out that messaging framework that we can leverage across the organization as we talk to customers. So industrial operators, the primary priorities for them: worker safety and risk mitigation, regulatory compliance and documentation, minimizing downtime. So this is a clear message to this target client type. And in our case, it's the industrial operators. Then we have the agricultural enterprises, crop health monitoring, early detection of disease, stress, and irrigation issues, cost efficiency, and input optimization. So all of the types of messages that we want to be able to clearly communicate through a consistent framework to our different types of clients. C, we have the institutional or public sector organizations. Our primary priorities and messaging to them: public safety and risk reduction, budget accountability, preventative maintenance, minimal disruption, transparent, well-documented reporting. Our core brand message: we deliver safer, smarter, more accurate asset intelligence, helping organizations across Western Canada reduce risk, prevent costly failures, and make confident decisions. So now it's talking about messaging pillars: safety, precision, operational efficiency, actionable intelligence, proof statements. We have our audience-specific key messages, which we just went through. We talked about our brand voice and tone. We've got some tagline options. I won't get into these. That would be essentially another marketing activity. But it does follow up with a one-sentence elevator statement, Clear sky drone inspections helps industrial, agricultural, and institutional organizations across Western Canada reduce risk, prevent costly failures, and make data-driven decisions through high-resolution drone technology and AI-powered analysis, delivered with a perfect safety record. That is our elevator pitch. So we're going to accept this. And as you can see, it might have seemed like there was a bunch of repetition, but really what was happening was clarity. Like we talked about at the beginning, we were clarifying our message. And every step along the way, it was clear and concise and repetitive. That's what you want when talking to customers. You have slightly different value propositions, as we saw through this exercise. But we do end up with the same bottom line, where we want to ultimately make sure that we are communicating the same message to clients consistently. So that there is today's workshop. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to stop sharing at this point. Again, if you want to see more KWAN in action, sign up for a free trial at www.kwan.business and give KWAN a try. Thank you very much.